How does it feel?
It feels great, you know, kind of everything I've dreamed of. You know, like I said, past 22 years, it's just been, I wanted to be on a major league field, and you know, whether it was hitting or pitching, just wanted to be in a game and you know, show what God gave me, and you know, I believe I did that.
What goes through your mind when that phone rings and they say, "Hey, get hot"?
Oh gosh, a lot. Really, I mean, it's just like, oh no, like it's time to go. Like, you know, you can prepare all you want, and you know, me being a starter and coming out of the bullpen today, it's like not foreign to me. I've done it before, but you know, I haven't done it since spring, so it's kind of just like, hey, you know, I stretched around a little bit, got hot, but when they said, hey, you got the next inning, I was like, all right, let's roll, and that's what I did. So.
When did this day start to feel real?
Probably when I ran out. No, that's a lie. When I threw my last couple of warm-up pitches, and you know, the crowd kind of went pretty loud, and I was like, okay, this is it. But yeah, I don't know how I threw a strike first pitch, but I did. So.
The spring breakout game a couple years ago, there was the famous Red Bull chug. Was there one of those before you left the bullpen today?
No, there was one probably in like the first inning.
Okay.
And I didn't know. I knew I was after Braxton with a clean inning, so I didn't know when that was. And, you know, he, of course, he went out there and shoved, but yeah, that was, you know, I think it happened in the first, maybe before the first, but I slammed it. All right, let's go. This is my routine. This is what I do. So.
How'd you feel about your stuff and just the way it plays here at the major league level?
Yeah, I think you know, I got some good results. And, you know, I think I threw a lot of pitches that you know kind of got away from me, but at the same time they were in zone and they were ripped and executed. And you know, hitting's hard, so you know I try not to overcomplicate it as much as you know some would. But yeah, you know I threw a lot of good pitches. I threw some pitches I wish I got back, but yeah, you know overall can't complain about however many innings I threw and you know them being scoreless. So it's pretty sweet.
I know a ticket's a ticket, but is it any more special that the first couple ones are undone?
Were they? Yeah, nice. Yeah, I was kind of, I don't know where I was looking. I was just kind of looking around, like I was trying to find my parents and where they were sitting. So yeah, I really wasn't paying attention to what was going on. I think the only pitch I looked at was the strikeout to Arcia. Yeah, I was like, dang, it felt good coming out of the hand. Yeah, it was a great pitch. So yeah, over 100. Nice.
What'd you think of the crowd tonight?
It was great. You know, everything you can imagine. Yeah, like I said, man, when they said my name and you know, major league debut, like this is kind of all I remember, and then I just blacked out the first inning. But I just kind of heard the place go crazy, and I had to turn my pitch comm up because I just couldn't hear what Henry was putting down. But yeah, man, that was really cool. It's something you know I'll never forget and I'll cherish forever. And, you know, want to thank the Pirates for making a dream come true.
On the note of Henry, how special was it to have him behind the dish? He's been huge for your development.
Yeah, pretty cool. You know, me and Henry, we go back all the way to 2021. We lived together, and you know, we kind of always talk about this day as like, hey, you know, whenever the time is, like, you're gonna catch my debut, and we're gonna have fun. And yeah, you know, I've never been teammates with him until last year in AAA, and you know, just kind of the way he goes about stuff, man. He just, like, I never shook him once, and I don't really plan on shaking the guy. Like, what he puts in each day is, you know, for the fans and media, everything that guy gives it is his all. And you know, it's something pitchers really like. Is our job's hard enough to go out there and you know try to throw a little white ball and place it in an inch big zone, right? Like, you know, just having the comfort of, you know, hey, whatever he puts down, you know, there's thought behind it, and you know, it's the right pitch.
As you thought about your debut, did you ever think that you might end up getting a save in your major league debut?
No. Yeah, no, it never crossed my mind. You know, I've relieved a couple times, but you know, I think I've started like 80-something games in the minor league. So you know, you think coming up, it's going to be you're going to be a starter, and you're going to start, but it's not planned. And you know, when they told me, hey, you're coming up, it was cool. I don't care if I'm a bat boy, if I'm, you know, whatever. Like, I just want to be here, and I want to help the team win. And you know, hopefully, I did that.
I'm sure you've been waiting since probably June to get your call. What was it like to have to deal with maybe the frustration of that? And did you take any of it out there on the mound with you tonight?
Yeah, whatever. You know, I don't. You know the kind of control you can control, and you know, I think the Pirates have a good plan for every single person in this clubhouse, every single person in the organization, and you know, like, you can complain all you want about everything, but you know, in the end, I'm here. I'm in the big leagues. You know, there's not a lot of 22-year-old kids that you know get to do this. I'm grateful. You know, I was mad, yeah, whatever. But at the same time, like, I didn't take care of what I needed to take care of, so that falls back on me. And now I'm here, don't care. You know. Yeah, the stress. I guess stress is a big thing. Like, I've never really been a stressed out guy, but I have been the past couple months, just trying to get here. And,
I mean, did you channel some of that into tonight's performance?
no, I just went there, through one pitch at a time, and yeah, I don't know. I kind of blacked out. I don't know what I didn't know what half was going on until I tried walking off the field after the last out, and I remembered it's the last out of the game. Like, stay out there, whatever. But that's pretty cool, pretty sweet. I don't care. I'm here, so can't complain.
I'm glad were you to be able to finish it out and be the walk off that mountain with the last.
Yeah, that was cool. When I came out the 8th, I was kind of thinking like, gosh, I really hope they let me go. One more, like that'd be great. Like, I didn't know it was a save opportunity, but it's like I really want to finish this thing out. Like that'd just be the cherry on top. And when I walked in, Oscar was like, "Hey, one more, let's go there, come on." Yeah, let's go. But, yeah, it was pretty cool.
Were you a little extra hyped up knowing what Braxton was able to do before you?
Yeah, me and Braxton have pretty similar repertoire, so like, I was watching pretty closely on the TV out there, like, okay, what works for what guy, like, they struggle with this, struggle with that, so it's kind of, I don't want to say easy, but Braxton, the way he is and the way his stuff plays, like we're similar a little bit, so I had a little more calmness and readiness going in the game, like, hey, I know if I throw this here, like they're gonna have a tough time. So shout out Brax.
You mentioned being a little stressed. Maybe the smile's the giveaway here, but weight off the shoulders at all?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. You spend just like anyone. I work every day of my life, and you try to just be the best you can at whatever it is. And there's a lot of times that in the off season or during the season, it's like, God, this sucks, but it's like, where's the light at the end of the tunnel type of thing. And yeah, I found it. So yeah. Ready to go see my parents and have fun.
Were you able to locate them in the crowd at
No,
all?
gosh, no.
Okay.
Yeah, freaking pitch clock. Yeah, there was a couple of times I was like, I think that's them, and then I was like, I think they had all my jerseys on. There was not enough jerseys around them, so I was like, nah, they them. But at the end, found them. Yeah, you pointed them out to me, so.
But I'm sorry, is it a little surreal? I mean, all of Paul's jerseys there, Braxton's, the guys that you have sort of come up with now, you guys are here. Now that you're here, do you sort of think about the possibilities of what this group could do?
Yeah, I think everyone in this clubhouse is friggin' phenomenal what they do. They wouldn't be here if they weren't. So I think the pitchers we have come to work every day ready to go out there and put up zeros, kind of like we did tonight. And Braxton is a guy that has battled a ton of injuries and a ton of just crappy stuff, and like you see what he's doing now, like he's a guy that's going to play for a long time, and he's really good. Paul, I'm not going to give him his flowers, but no, he's a leader in the clubhouse. He's a guy that guys kind of gravitate towards. Right? You see what he's doing every week; it's unbelievable, and he's a guy that works, and you kind of get out what you put in, and that's just kind of the thought is Mitch, everyone in here is going to be. They work as hard as they can, and what you put in is what you get out. So,
how much do you feel like you can benefit from being around guys like Paul and Mitch, in terms of not just your game routine, but also between starts and things like just stuff that you can learn about being a major league starting pitcher or in the bulk role?
Yeah, I think everyone's different, but yeah, I mean Mitch, he's pitching big leagues for a long time. Like, he's done a lot of innings. He's had a lot of good years. Paul, he hasn't been here long, but you see what he's done. I mean, guys like Carmen, Braxton, they've been in the position that I've been put in now. Starter to reliever to long reliever. Like, they can help me. I talked to Carmen for the first inning today. Like, hey, how do you think I should go about this with my routine, all that stuff? He goes, hey, no, yes, do this, don't do that. Like, you don't want to be too hot, you don't want to be too cold, like whatever. And yeah, he was guys like that. Isaac Matson's another one that I've been teammates with for the past 2 years. That he's just a dog. So he kind of gave me some nice words of wisdom going into the game. And
what does it say about you that your 40th pitch was also 100? That you carried that velo into the deep into the start.
Yeah, I don't know. Just I guess something I've done well over the years is carry velo. It's kind of something I pride myself on is, you know, pitch 1's going to be slower than pitch 100. That's kind of my thought, is I want to, you know, be my best version with it at the end of it, whether it's the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th inning. I want to still be going strong, and that's, you know, what I do throughout the week that allows me to do that. And, yeah.
That's good.